Hello everyone. Welcome to episode 1.6 from the game arts course. Yeah, in this video we're gonna do a little bit of rigging. I also already made this little animation. By no means the best animation ever, but it's just to show you guys what we can do with the rig that we're gonna make. So without further ado, let's pause this bad boy, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. And it's actually quite simple. I prepared some notes, so I'm gonna have that on my other monitor. So what is an armature, or like what even is that, and why do we need it? So basically, if you want to move a character, right, you need to build like a skeleton within your 3D software, which is what this is, right? And I'm going to show you guys how to do that, how to find it, how to use it, how to properly apply it to your mesh that we made in the previous video. So I'm just going to hide this one, and I'm going to open up my backup file right over here. I'm going to then move this to the middle. Actually, I'm going to move, I'm going to merge the hair together with Ctrl J. Do I have to enable this again? Yeah, there we go. So I press Ctrl J to merge the hair. And I'm gonna just move this fellow over here. There we go. Put this on 0, and then I'm gonna go to Object, Set Origin to 3D Cursor. So now it's in the middle, just makes things a little bit easier. So when I was rigging, because I always like to do one example before I do the recording, I noticed that the neck over here, I'm just gonna go into gray mode here. When I had rigged the face, I can maybe do a Ctrl L here. This. The head wouldn't move like this, but as you guys can see, the neck doesn't go with it. So what I've done, and you guys can follow along, is I selected these bottom two faces. Then I did I to make insertion, and I'm making it smaller and smaller and smaller. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to line these up. If you accidentally click or something, or it doesn't work, don't worry. You can still scale them. S and X. So I'm lining this line up with the points. And I'm doing then the same. Shift of S and Y. And I'm lining them up here as well. And then what I'm gonna do, it's super simple. First, I'm gonna delete these two faces because we'll never see those anyways. Delete. And then I'm gonna go into the vertex select point. I'm gonna click and click. And then I'm gonna do last, because I select the neck first and then the head. And then boom. And I'm gonna do that with Shift R, because Shift R basically means repeat the last thing you did, like the last shortcut. So I only have to select first, last, Shift R. First, last. Did I select that one? No. Shift R. Shift R. And Shift R. And now our neck is attached. And we only have to delete these faces as well. Beautiful. There we go. And we don't have to do anything else. The texture is still intact because we used the insertion. And we use a, simple color. So now that we fixed our model, there's a few other things we need to fix because, we want to make this pretty crisp, is the elbows. So at points, right, where you're gonna have a lot of deformation, which is here, here, and here, you want to have a few more edge loops, because if you have like a bone here, and it's gonna bend and there's nothing here, then the armature doesn't really know what to bend, and that's gonna cause some trouble. So we're gonna add just a few extra loop cuts. So what I'm gonna do, I have mirrored enabled. I'm gonna go in front view. So that means if I move something on this side, it's gonna duplicate it. So I'm gonna move this in the middle, and then I'm gonna do Ctrl B. And you can see that is not being mirrored, but not to worry. If you want more, like if you want more cuts, you can scroll up and down. I want 3, right? I want like this. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. There we go. Same for the knees. selecting both. Oh, by the way, that's what we could have done actually. Wait, I'm going back for you guys. Like if we both alt click these edges and then we do Control B, it's gonna do the same. So that way we know it's 100% symmetrical. Same for this. Select both. Oh, I still got these selected. That's not good. Select the legs and Control B. Okay, I'm gonna put a loop cut over here and a loop cut over here. That's looking great. And that's all we need to do. Now our mesh is in a much better state to be, you know, able to be bended and then move things around. So this is great. Okay, let's get started with the armature. So we're gonna go in object mode and we're gonna go in front view. Then we're gonna do Shift A, single bone. That's it. That's all you need to get started. So basically, we're gonna go in edit mode and press A to select everything, and then GZ to bring it up, and now it's gone. Well, it's not really gone. It's in here, but we can't see it. You can either go in wireframe mode, but you know, here I'd like to see it too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into object mode again. We're gonna go to this orange one, and then in the viewport display here, you can do in front. What's it gonna do? It's always gonna render the mesh in front of anything else. So you'll always be able to see it. I still like to work with wireframe because then I can clearly see the edges. So I'm gonna line this one up with this line and then I'm gonna extrude with E and I'm gonna bring this up. So this is gonna be the spine. We're gonna instantly name everything, by the way. So we're gonna go to this bone icon here. We're gonna call this spine. And we're gonna call this spine 1. There we go. So basically our character is gonna bend like this. If you wanted to, and this is very well possible, you could also do this. Have 3. I guess we can do that too. It's fine. 3 spines is fine for us right now. So then we're gonna go up one more, which is gonna be the neck. And the last one is gonna be the head, the huge head. Give that the name and give this the name neck. Cool. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna select one and we're gonna do Shift D to duplicate it. And then we're gonna rotate it on the y-axis. And we're gonna do it by 90. Then we're gonna place it here on the arm. And our, you know, we need to kind of line it up here in the middle. And then have one here and one here. So this is gonna be the upper arm dot. Let's see, which side is this? It's the right side, I guess. Like sometimes people prefer to do it from the back because you look sometimes, you know, from behind. But you know, for now, let's just use upper arm. It's on the right side, so capital R. It's gonna be the lower arm dot R. And if you're like, why do you use dot R? Well, that's because we're gonna mirror everything. So I'm not gonna do this the same over here. I'm just simply going to duplicate these. So I'm gonna select all of them. Shift D, rotate on the Y by 90 degrees. I'm gonna put it here. I don't need this last bone. And then I'm going to simply align these points again with the nice cuts over here. All right, lovely. So rename this to upper leg dot R and lower leg dot R. So the only thing we need to do right now is we need to fix the parents, because as you guys can see, there's like this little line that's being brought back to here, and that's not good. So we're gonna click the bone, Alt P, we're gonna clear the parent, and then we're gonna click the point that we want it to be attached to, Control P, and keep offset. And now the line works better. The reason we do this is parents kind of, you know, if this bone, for example, if this was the parent, if this one moves, then, you know, these will move with it. So we want to attach it to a bone. That's more logical and works better. So Alt P, and I'm gonna parent this to, oh, Alt P, keep offset. All right, that's better. So now, since we named everything correctly on this exception, spine 2, all I have to do is I have to press A and armature and then symmetrize. Boom. And then you'll see that all the names are the same, but now they have .l, which is, you know, perfect. So if we were to select our, you know, our armature right now and we go to pose mode, you'll see that we can move everything. Great. That's a good start. But it's only the armature doing anything and our cool character is not really moving. And that's because, you know, it needs to be attached. So we're gonna go to object mode and select the object first, I think, and then the armature, and then Control P again. Yeah. And then we're having all these options. Now, in some cases, you might want to do empty groups. That way you're gonna get like a lot of slots basically in the mesh, like over here. Gonna have a lot of vertex groups that are empty, but they're already there. So for every bone, there's gonna be a group, and then you can just assign it. In our case, we're gonna let Blender do like a smart calculation. We're gonna use automatic weights. Cool. So let's see what happens. If we go into pose mode, as you guys can see, it now perfectly works. So in some cases, right, you could be like, well, this is awesome, let's call it a day. But as you guys can see, like in some instances, there's some meshes moving that, you know, like for example, the shoulder here, I do this, the shoulder is moving. Well, I'm literally only moving a bone from the leg. So we're gonna fix that. We're just gonna, you know, polish it a little bit. So we're gonna go into object mode, and then we're gonna select the armature and then the mesh. And then we're gonna go to weight paint. All right. Oh, I did vertex paint. I'm sorry. It needs to do weight paint. So, all right, cool. So here we can see on the right-hand side, if we're in the green tab here, that I have the lower leg selected. You can control-click bones to see what they're influencing. And dark blue means 0, and orange and red means 1, which controls it a lot. So if I select this one, right, we see this light blue over here going up. If I set my weights to 0, I can just start painting here. And you can see that the really light blue, it's almost invisible, I can paint that away. As to if I were to weight paint 1, I would paint the red. So I'm gonna do that for this one too, because everything is mirrored. So, you know, gotta paint this off. There we go. And weight paint is based on these points, right? Like these points over here. So if you're like clicking somewhere, nothing is happening, it's because you need these points to weight paint. Okay. Let's check some other bones. This looks fine. This looks fine. So this still does not look fine, right? Like the if we go into pose mode, just select this. This bone is deforming the head a little bit. It's not that noticeable, but I would still prefer if that was not the case. So I'm gonna go into weight paint again. And then what I'm gonna do is I am going to select the whole face here, including the neck. And then over here you can also do something cool, which is assigning weights manually. So I'm gonna assign 0 weights to spine number 2. And then as you can see, now it's blue. Now it's being absolutely not deformed, and that's what we want. And then the neck over here is now blue as well. So I'm gonna once again select the neck. Oh, need to be in edit mode, sorry. And then I'm gonna put the weights on 1 and assign. So as you can see now it's red, and this is how we want it, right? Neck. the neck should only really affect that much. Although I think 1 is maybe a bit much. I'm gonna put 0.6 and then assign that, and then it's gonna be green. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, so the head, right? Cool, looking good, but still, once again, we need to change some stuff. I'll do Control L. Don't need this part. The back of the head as well. Do we have everything selected? Oh, the hairs, very important, the hair. And then we're gonna assign 1 to the head, and then Control I to invert the selection. We're gonna put that to 0. So now it's only gonna be able to do this. And then there we go. So if you want the character to look forward, you could do this and then this. Pretty cool stuff. Things are coming together pretty nicely. Let's check the arms. So this is something that we did pretty smartly because we didn't attach the arms to the body. So the weight paint just goes, you know, uninterruptedly inside, which is, you know, we literally do not have to do anything here. Like we can just move this hand a little bit. And this just works. And I think actually we're already done now. The only thing you could do is like, I don't know, do this part and then 0 for the upper leg. Do we have the other one? Upper leg L, assign. Does this look better? Yeah, I think it does. I think it needs a little bit of weight on here. Oh, I'm still mirroring. That's not good. Just do a little here on these vertices. Otherwise, it's gonna clip, and that's not good. Yeah, this is better. So just like touch, just click these points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you'll see that, you know, it just looks a whole lot better. This one. Yeah, it's the same. Cool. So if you're like wondering, hey, how do I move these bones, right? Like maybe you've struggled a little bit to follow along because this went a bit fast. With R, you can rotate. But if you rotate something and you do Alt R, you can bring it back into position. I think you should know that because it's been covered in the previous tutorial, but just to make sure. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. If we just go into material preview and pose mode, like if we wanted to pose your character now, you know, like he's looking up and he's like just amazed, right? Like he's like, whoa, like looking at the thumbnail. Oh, guys, we have a problem. Look, this hair is moving. It's not moving. Oh, that's not good. Wait, let's fix that. We go back into object mode, weight paint. We click the head, and as you can see, oh, this is blue. We forgot 1 or 2 little vertices. Weight 100, boom, fixed, easy fix. So something that's always taught to me is that, you know, put your character in very crazy poses, like the weirdest stuff, so that it's gonna be easier for you to see if there's something that's not working properly. And it's a very good tip. It does work a lot, really well. Cool. So as you can see, I think 3 bones in our case, maybe not the best choice because of the edge loops. But, you know, you can always go back and change that if you want. So I'm pretty happy with this, you know, like I could animate this stuff. There's still a lot of other cool tricks that you can do to make things easier, which is what I'm going to show you guys now, which is making IK. So we're going to go into edit mode. There we go. And then we're going to duplicate this this bone over here, and we're going to unparent it. There we go. And we're going to call this leg ik.r. Then we're going to duplicate another bone. Gonna make it a bit smaller. Gonna put it on the height of the knee. Also unparented. And we're gonna call this leg C hole, I think. Yeah, pt dot r. So we have leg ik, leg pt. Cool. So what we can do, first I want to make this a bit smaller. Put this like this, rotating it. Oh, gotta rotate that nicely. So what we need to do is we're gonna go into pose mode. With this bone selected, we can go to constraints. And then we need to choose inverse kinematic. And then for target, we need the armature, the bone. We need the IK one. So IK. Pole target is this one. Am I saying that right? Nope, that's not true. We need the armor. Oh, he automatically did that already. Sorry. Yeah, you just need to make sure armature is here again. And then here you do the PT. There we go. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, so then we need to set the chain length, which is, you know, how many bones it needs to affect. And that's 2. And then we just need to change the rotation to 90. Cool. I think now. Okay, so it's now only affecting one bone, as you guys can see. So we need to add one more. Yes, there we go. And now, as you can see, with moving one bone, we can kind of control the whole leg. The only problem is this bone is controlling how it's rotating, right? So there we go. Alright, here's Nathan from the future. I had a little bit of trouble with the IK, but it was a problem that I had before, but I just forgot. So if we were to just, you know, put everything back, as you guys can see, I changed the right bone compared to the left one, because if I didn't do that, which is what we had, if there's not a slight bend in the bones, then Blender doesn't really know which way the feet needs to like go to. If it's like completely straight, and we would have the same here, it could either go right, left, to the back. So we needed to go into edit mode here and just simply drag it forward. Because if I were to do this again, you can see that like now he thinks it's in the back where it needs to bend. And that's not good. So you just have to make like a very small adjustment like this, and it'll work perfectly. And then with this one here, you can rotate the knee, and there's no weird bending anymore here. So I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like here. So it's minus 90 in our case. That's assuming that in edit mode you select everything, you do Shift N and choose the global plus Y axis. So if you do those two things, so Shift N, Shift N in edit mode, this in combination with these values here is basically the same, so only the pole angle slightly changed. Then we're gonna be able to do that. So technically speaking, I'm pretty sure if we gave this good names, if we were to armature and symmetrize, I am pretty sure that things should be working out. I see that both bones have gone back to being slightly in the wrong position again, so we're gonna bend them a little bit. Is this working? I think not. Yeah, okay, so for some reason, I don't know why this happens with me, but the constraints are being lost in the process. It's just fine. Just more, yeah, I can just show again how it works. So we're gonna select armature, we're gonna look for the IK leg on the right side, pole target, and then we need the PTR. Chain lengths need to be 2, and we need minus 90. There we go. Works. So, I'll do the same with this one. Select this bone over here. Inverse kinematic. We need this armature. We need the IK of the left leg. Once again, we need the armature. We need the PT. There we go. Chain length 2 and then minus 90. And this leg works now as well. Perfect. So, you know, if you want to make a walking animation right now, that's gonna be a lot easier. So that's for the legs. Let's just do for the arms as well, because you know, why not? So go in edit mode. First we need to extend the hand bone over here. I'm gonna rotate it on the Z axis by 90 degrees and I'm gonna put it here. Alt P, clear parent, duplicate this and 180 degrees here. Cool. Then we're gonna put a constraint on the hand. Gonna need this armature. Gonna give this a good name, of course. So hand IK.R. And then this is gonna be hand pull target. So hand PT. Before actually I'm gonna do everything, I'm just gonna mirror. I'm wondering if I just select these things, it's gonna like symmetrize. Yeah, let's go. Hey, and they kept that. Okay, so perfect. Let's just go back into post mode. Didn't do too much work yet, so that's good. Bone needs to be hand R. This needs to be PT, and then we need to hand. Chain is 1, 2, 3. So once again, we need to go into object mode here and select both these. Need to bring them back a little. Otherwise, then it doesn't know which way to do things. Then we just need to rotate this a little bit. Minus 90 again. And then, as you can see, we can do this. Let's see if it works properly if I put this here. And then I have to put this here. There we go. See? That way you can more easily position the hand. So this works perfectly fine. Gonna do the same thing for here. So we're gonna do a IK. Gonna need armature 1. The reason is, by the way, 001 is because I have another armature in the one that I hit. Hand IK, pull targets, PT, hand L, chain length is 3, I think, right? Yeah. And then minus 90. Perfecto. I'm gonna put this, nope, I need this one. Put this here. And I'm gonna put this here. And there we go. Beautiful. And we now have a perfect, well, I wouldn't say perfect, but a really good rig to get things started. Like you can move the legs easily, the arms, you know. It's just, you know, makes your lives easier when we're gonna animate, if you were to animate. So I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.